Police running all in and out the building. What the hell is going on?
Whoa. There is a light that shines special for you and me. What up, Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? YouTube, what's good? Raider Nation. Hey, right? Hey, I'm not in the Ahern. Obviously, y'all see that, but you know, we got the light shining. You know what I'm saying on this side over here. But hey, it's all good. We are in the building once again. Shout out to everybody today. We are live. That is right. We are live. If you guys need prayer for you or your family members, hit me up on IG at Twuan, TWUAN, TWUAN. But hey, look, we got to talk about this whole situation. I know it's not Raider related, but we definitely got to talk about this Cam Newton situation. And stay tuned at the end of the live because I actually got something a little special that I'm going to say in regards to the topic we're talking about right now. And that is Cam Newton. That is right. Cam Newton. Quarterback Cam Newton, quarterback of actually he was a quarterback of two teams while he was currently his stint in the NFL. He played for the Carolina Panthers, then he went over to where at the Carolina Panthers he became the MVP. And then also he was able to go to the Super Bowl with the Carolina Panthers, and that was a whole that's a whole subject in itself. But yeah, Cam Newton went over to the Carolina Panthers, did well for them, then was moved to then he ended up playing for the Patriots, right? And we know about the Patriots. Whether we like it or not. He was over at the Patriots, and then now he is actually, at the moment, he is unemployed. But Cam Newton actually does a lot of things in the community. Cam Newton, obviously a lot of people know him for obviously his football, but another thing that he's known for currently, as I adjust some things in here, he's also known for his hats and fashion. Whether you like his hats and fashion, that is definitely up for interpretation. For me personally, I think some of his hats are nice. Some of his hats are, I'm like, I don't know about that. But with that being said, Cam Newton is definitely he's different. I'll say that he goes to the beat of his own drum, whether you believe it or not. I think he expresses himself in the way that he likes to express himself, and that's perfectly fine with me. It doesn't bother me, right? But reports have came out this past weekend that he was at a 7-on-7 tournament, and we know that Cam Newton also, if you don't know, Cam Newton is involved in 7-on-7 tournaments and investing in our youth. Okay, and a lot of the youth that he likes to invest in are youth of minority. Kids that are may not have came from the most lavish style of life, may have not came from all different walks of life, right? Multicultural communities, at risk. I'll say that the technical term is at risk teens. And at risk teens, if people don't know what that means, at risk teens are people, are teens or children that are at risk of getting involved in gang violence or that type of lifestyle. So, he invests in at risk teens, and again, he came from a situation, a tough community, and one of the things that Cam Newton takes pride in is that he, as high as he's reached it, getting to the Super Bowl and making the NFL and all the great accolades that he's accomplished on his way up, he's always made an effort to reach back. Of course, Cam Newton also has his podcast, and and that's been successful. But one of the things that he definitely takes pride in is reaching back and helping out the community wherever he can. So it's not foreign that you see Cam Newton doing these things, going out, talking to the youth, encouraging them, motivating them, teaching them, some tools of the trade, right? Obviously Cam Newton is a football player, and 7-on-7 is a football game, right? It's not, the full, 11-on-11, but it's another off-season form, and how our young guys can sharpen their skills in preparations for for the 11-on-11, right? Whether it's their high school team, with his 7-on-7 league, it also categorizes kids from 6th grade to 12th grade. So kids from middle school age, going into preparing them to get into high school. And then you have the high school guys that are preparing themselves for high school ball and, for possibly moving on into college ball, right? So Cam Newton takes an effort to reach back to that age group in that bracket, right? And I got to give him a shout out for that. But I will say that there, again, this past weekend, there was an incident as to where Cam Newton was jumped by a group of participants or people that were connected to the participants of the 7-on-7 tournament. And this group was identified as the TSP crew. So they obviously they attempt to jump Cam Newton, and that wasn't successful. One guy, looking at the film, and you can go on Google and Google that for yourself. But one guy actually, got a shot on Cam Newton, but it was one of those, right? It literally just it bounced off of him. And one thing that I will say, and we'll continue to talk about it, but one thing that stuck out to me was, even in the midst of him being jumped by people, the reports are saying about 5 or 7 guys, and it did look like about that many guys. Cam Newton didn't throw a punch. Cam Newton literally was pushing and throwing people in out of his way in means of protection, right? And shout out to Cam Newton for doing that. Because again, if that was me and I'm getting jumped by 5 or 6 guys, I don't know if my thought process would be thinking grab and swing, grab and throw. I don't think I would be grabbing and throwing, and you guys would probably be the same way. You know what I'm saying? I would definitely be in a situation where I would be swinging my way out. I may have not won that one because again, 5 against 1, the 5 should be beating on the 1, but they definitely gonna feel me. You know what I'm saying? On my way down, and I won't be going down like this. I'm like, pop, take that one as I'm going down. You know what I'm saying? And Cam Newton still in the midst of being attacked was able to find some sense of restraint. So shout out to Cam Newton because that I'm saying that because I wouldn't have been able to do that. Okay. But over the weekend, Cam Newton ran into this situation through this group that was called TSP, the TSP crew. You can probably Google them and figure out what's up with them. But obviously they had an issue in which they felt like they needed to attack Cam Newton. And mind you, this was after it seemed like after the results of the game, after everything was all said, I guess it looked like by the tape, it looked like it was when they were doing the ceremonies. And that was the situation. So, Cam was he was jumped, or he I'll say it like this. It was an attempted effort at a jump. and because Cam is the specimen that Cam is, that did not happen. Cam was definitely moving bodies. And you can definitely tell that he may not have been in full football shape, but he's still in some shape. And let's be honest, even when Cam was, currently in the league, Cam still is, I'll say it like that. Cam is a big boy. What is he, like 6'5"? I think about 250. He might be a little heavier than that now, since he's out of the, currently, out of the league. But he's still a physical specimen. And I don't know what led those people, what was in there. I say it like this: what was in their shanana that made them think that going against someone like Cam Newton, they were going to succeed. But there's a lot of things in discussion. There's a lot of things in regards to there's a lot of things in regards to the incident that I'm going to definitely break down to you guys on today. You guys can shout out to everybody. Make sure you guys click the like button. Why? Because I like you. And if you like the Raiders, or if you just like, watching YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. Okay? Go ahead and do that. There's some things that, and I was watching some other people and watching, what they felt about the situation, because it was something that a lot of reporters came out and started talking about. But there are some things that I started to think about, and I'll say this in regards to the incident. I think it we fail, and I say this as us as people, and I throw myself in the same bus. Okay, we as people sometimes fail to forget that we have to keep the main thing the main thing. What do you mean by that, Twuan? What I mean by that is, there's situations in life where we should be focused on one thing, and because our lack of focus, we lose sight of what the real importance is. And to be honest with you, what was the focus of that weekend? What was the focus of that weekend? The focus should have been on the kids. The focus should have been on the kids getting their skills sharpened. Because again, that's what 7-on-7 is about. It's about them learning the game, because most of those kids have the aspirations of getting into the league, right? So the focus should have been on development of the kids, whether it's them in middle school, preparing them for high school ball, which we know a lot. We know in certain areas of town, in certain states, we know especially in certain demographics, high school ball is huge. You know what I'm saying? So that preparation to get a child ready for that high school year, where they may be going into going into a competitive high school, that it might be a long shot that they actually make that team. This is where they can get those fundamentals. And on top of that, having an opportunity to rub shoulders with someone that's already done it. Meaning somebody like a Cam Newton. You know, the development and the teaching of the athletes that are out there. I'll just say it like the athletes that are out there. That should have been the focus. Preparing them and giving them the tools to teach them what I feel like has definitely been missing in the game, and I think we're seeing it even more. You know, and more is the lack of sportsmanship. You know, where situations now it can be dangerous. I don't know how many times I've seen, you know, and you know, I'm gonna actually put the link in the chat. You know what I'm saying? If some of you guys want to pull up and have a discussion with me, but you know, I don't know how many times I've seen, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on, you know, whether it's on, you know, even live. There, you know, there's been times where, you know, my sister, she played, you know, my sister actually played softball, you know, and you know, I was with her from, you know, when she started in school all the way up to high school, and you know, she was able to play college, and all throughout that, there's been many a times with me eating my nachos and watching her play. You know, I'm looking at a cross field, or I'm looking at the field that my sister's on, and there's arguments with parents and coaches when the focus should be on children. We have a guest coming up. You know, I don't know how much time he has, but I'm definitely going to have him pull up. I know that he probably definitely has a perspective. And again, you guys, those that are in the chat, you guys are also welcome to pull up and talk about this. We're talking about Cam Newton this past weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, the Natural Born Raider podcast, Dirty Raider.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's going on with you, man?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling.
Good,
So,
good.
had a few minutes. You know what I mean? Had a
Yeah.
few minutes.
Yeah.
I heard about the cam. I saw the things and whatnot. You know, I immediately wanted to know what happened. So I went down the hole, and you know, I got a chance to hear from the other guys that were involved. Normally, you don't hear from the victims. You know what I mean? Like if they're or the or you would say not hear from the victims. You wouldn't hear from the accused. You know what I mean? You don't usually hear from the accused. You know what I mean? So, and then basically what they were saying was, and I get it, you know, and I'll get into the 7-on-7 in a second, but this shit started early in the week. You know what I mean? It started in practice early in the week, you know, and they said, you know, Cam just talking shit as coaches do. You know what I mean? And there's IG evidence of old boy talking shit throughout the week as well. You know what I mean? It was just a back and forth. Now, from their standpoint, what they're saying is Cam was the aggressor, and it started off as a one-on-one conversation. But when old boy saw his brother getting manhandled by Cam, that's when he reacted. You know what I mean? And then somebody else reacted. And then I could see why it would take 4 motherfuckers to react to Cam Newton. We are talking 6'5", 230 muscle. You know, quarterback used to shaking off people, getting out, you know what I mean? Like, the dude's athletic. You know what I mean? So I could understand. But what I don't understand is it's 7-on-7. You are a retired NFL quarterback with a league MVP trophy. You've played in the Super Bowl. I personally think you could have conducted yourself better. You know, forget the guys who jumped on you, because from my understanding, before the cameras was rolling, none of that shit was going on. The camera started rolling when, towards the tail end. So, it's he say, she say. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. I just know it's a bad look. But at the same time, it's actually normal. The only reason you don't hear about the other ones is because, one, nobody dies, and two, it's not an NFL player involved of a caliber like a Cam Newton or something like that. You know what I mean? So this wasn't a Cam Newton camp. This was a Cam Newton 7-on-7 team that he's coaching.
Mm.
Big difference. It's not a camp that he was appearing at. It was a 7-on-7 tournament that they were involved in. So, the problem is these kids who play 7-on-7, they all have high hopes of going to the next level. That's why they mama and daddy pay $255 every game for them to go and play in a 7-on-7 tournament. You know what I mean? Because it's the talent, it's the eyes that are there. My oldest son played in it. My youngest son will play in it next year. You know what I mean? But the attitude, you know what I mean, that these kids have out there, like, it's ridiculous, bro. The coaches don't care because the coaches egg the shit on. So, it ain't 11 on 11. It's NBA jams for 7-on-7.
Yeah, and that's kind of where, there again, there's obviously there's always two sides of the story, but there's always different lanes you can go in. And I just felt like, the focus, no matter if it was a camp, you know what I'm saying, where you're actually working drills, or if it's a straight up tournament, and you got coaches and players, there's still development in that, and the focus should have been on the children. It shouldn't have got to a point where, parents or whatever, or adults had to get involved, and you know what I'm saying, and in the efforts. And I think that's where it looks bad on
Everybody involved were members of the coaching staffs.
Yeah.
Of the two teams that played. One was Cam's team, and then the other team that they played. It wasn't parents. It wasn't players. It was coaching staffs. It was two coaching staffs. Well, it was Cam Newton versus a coaching staff. And then his security, that people say parents got involved. Parents got involved and broke it up. But it wasn't parents throwing punches. You know what I mean? So we got to take the parent-player part out of it. This was coaches. This was coaches only. Everybody involved was a part of either side of the team, be it Cam security or the other coaching staff that Cam got involved, that he got into it with. So, it wasn't parents and it wasn't players. It was a bad look to parents and it was a bad look to players, but no player or parent was involved in the scuffle. Not even the dude who people thought was trying to punch Cam. He wasn't trying to punch Cam. He was trying to punch the dude that was attached to Cam, because he was trying to help Cam out. So, yeah, it was a long 3 hours, but I got the story. You know what I mean? I got the story within the 3 hours, bro. Yeah. I wasn't trying to listen to Shannon Sharp and all of them and get their point of view. You know what I mean? Because I feel like anybody in the media world, they shit was slighted. Even the one with James Jones and old girl and Shady McCoy, like, she went on a tangent, but nobody had to. Everybody went on a tangent before they heard the full story. You know what I mean? Everybody went on this extreme tangent before they heard the full story. So now that I got the full story, both sides, I can see what went wrong. Tempers flared. They could have walked away. Everybody says that both parties says, you know what, it should have never escalated to that point. We should have all been able to sit down and have a conversation. But egos were involved, and you know, and that's why I always say when you put your ego above everything else, your ego could cost you your life.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Your ego can cost you your life, man.
And I take it that it is, I guess is a benefit that me and you both have coached at some level. You know what I'm saying? I know you've done football, I've done basketball, I've done a little bit of rec league flag football or whatever. But we've been leaders of young children. You know what I'm saying? We've been leaders of kids, and there's some things in which there's certain things that we can do, you know what I'm saying, at home. There's certain things we can do when we with our homies, but then there's a whole nother level in which we have to present ourselves when we're in front of children, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like because it got to that state, you know what I'm saying? Because it got to where, you can call it fisticuffs, whatever you want to call it, a tussle, whatever you want to identify that situation as. Again, there was children seeing that. So what lesson can you move on, you know what I'm saying, from this situation? Are you gonna, as a coach, we just lost McDaniels, and I'll put this in Raider reference. We lost McDaniels. Why? Because he couldn't, you know what I'm saying? Players didn't believe in him. You know what I'm saying? And there were certain things that he was doing that made them like, nah, I don't believe this dude anymore. You know what I'm saying? What's going to happen to these kids? You know what I'm saying? Like, and how does a coach, whether it's Cam Newton's team or the TSP crew, how can you now stand in front of these kids that saw you act a fool?
Very easily. Truthfully, it's very easy. It's actually something that probably needs to be done a little bit. Not saying that the scuffle needs to happen a little bit more, but grown ass men standing up and taking accountability for their actions. It's actually it's a lose-win situation. You know what I mean? It's a lose-win situation. Um, you lose in the fact that you show something out of character, right? Show these kids a bad way of going about getting things done. But it's a win in the simple fact that if you can stand up there, own up to your shit, move forward, show that mistakes can be made, and you can learn from them, and you can also improve from them. Well, I mean, hell, shit, that's a great fucking example too, right?
Yeah. But we'll see how, and I wish that we were able to, I wish there was a hard knocks for these teams now, because I do want to see how they move on from here. You know what I'm saying? It's a tough sled, because a lot of these kids, and this generation is a monster in itself. But um you know it they as much as they can be riding with you one minute, you know what I'm saying, your action could make them flip the total opposite direction that quick. You know what I'm saying? and
Yeah.
and and I don't want, my fear is, those young people end up losing their way, thinking that there's a certain, that's the way to move about business and doing things, and not learn properly from this incident. You know, I'm more in the mode of making sure, like Dirty said, this could be, you know, a good situation. This could be a learning moment, but are they really going to learn? Or are they going to think it's okay to behave that way? That's the question to ask. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys click the like button if you guys have not. Let me give you guys a shout out in the building. I didn't do that today. First person on deck is Raphael. Good to see you, man. Dirty is in the building. Gravy, good to see you, man. Yo, Twuan 7-on-7 is bad for these kids now. That's why you have. Look, you know, and that definitely is up for interpretation. I think definitely 7-on-7. There's some positives there at 7-on-7, but we it's all on the mentality, right? And like you said, the teaching and the education. You know, I and you know this even too, Gravy. And for those that are listening, those as coaches, a lot of the times you're of course there's the X's and O's, but a lot of things that you're coaching in football, or a lot of things you're just coaching in sports in general, is about life. And you know, again, my concern in the situation is the development of the main thing being the main thing, but the development of these young people. Because what's going to happen if, you know, if lessons aren't learned properly, or development ain't completely there, is we're gonna find one of these 7-on-7 kids now on, you know what I'm saying, playing for the Rams, you know, drafted to play for the Rams, and then all of a sudden he's gonna be on a DUI and a gun and meth charge, a la Arnett. You know what I'm saying? Like, where is this going to stop? And I'm not saying 7-on-7 needs to stop, because I don't think the game 7-on-7 is completely horrible, but the mentality, the hey, this is how you need to move to get to the next level. I know this is how you are. And we look, can I be honest with you? We all in some aspect have put on a front. We all have done it. We all lied on our interviews. We all lied on our resume. We all said some stuff that, you know what I'm saying, all of that wasn't completely 100%. And I definitely believe the way you talk, you know what I'm saying, the way you talk on YouTube, and the way you you know what I'm saying, you know, the way you talk with your homies is not how you was talking in that interview. You know, so there's a certain way in which you need to I don't want to say behave yourself, but there's a certain way you conduct yourself to get to wherever you need to get to. And I don't want these young people, whether they were at that tournament or, you know, like some of us went on YouTube and saw what happened, or wherever we watched it, on our phones or media, and think that's the way we should navigate our lives. Black and Grayed Out, the official producer of the Natural Born Raider podcast. Willie Wayne, good to see you. Salute, Gord. Good to see you. John Leon, good to see you. I hope all is well. If you like the Raiders, go ahead and subscribe. Join the best chat. Yes, that is the best chat. The congregation. Join the congregation. That's what they call themselves, and that's what I call them. The congregation. And shout out to the congregation. I ain't got no brown crackers up here. We ain't got no brown crackers up here. I'm not in the Ahern, so forgive me for not being in the Ahern. And yeah. I just saw a chat. Let me see that. Let me pull it up. I'm clicking on the wrong stuff. Oh, gravy. It was gravy. Hey, gravy, and saying teaching doesn't happen anymore. And I think some of that is, and that's on all levels. I feel like that's on all levels. Especially in regards to the NFL, right? We talk about players coming and talking about the draft, right? Players coming in for the draft, and certain things like that, and the development of those players, right? The pressure, even in college, to win sometimes misconstrues the development of the player, right? If you got a college that, look, we just got to win, we got to win. What time are they taking to say, okay, I'm going to work with this guy, I'm going to develop this guy? Most of them are saying, if you ain't got it, go. If you ain't got it, you can go to the bottom of the roster. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got time. We ain't got time to wait for you to figure it out, right? So there's not enough development. I would say that. In high school is where it belongs, with the school coach and then not wanting to be. Yeah. That part. Yeah. So shout out to everybody. Make sure you guys click the like button. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on on the situation of Cam Newton, if you guys have not, this past weekend, Cam Newton, 7-on-7 flag team. 7-on-7, football team, went to a tournament and there was an altercation. Also, if you guys have any other questions, we can ask those. I know Dirty is here, and I know that he'll definitely have some input on those things too.
Oh, my bad.
No, you good. John Leon, do you think Jacobs gets signed after Telesco comments today about having multiple backs?
Yeah, that's the whole point of Josh Jacobs being signed, was that comment. Him and Jameer. Yeah, multiple backs. That's what the comment was all. That's what it was all about. Having Josh Jacobs and Zamir White together, having multiple backs, not having to depend on Josh Jacobs alone. So
Yeah,
I definitely see Josh Jacobs.
Go ahead.
Well, I was saying I definitely see Josh Jacobs coming back. Like, from my understanding, the deal was already out there, just waiting for that official time where he can sign, where he will sign it. I don't know, but I feel like, yep, I believe there's a deal already on the table. So.
I dropped a video yesterday, and I put out the stats and the performance stats of Josh Jacobs, and it makes sense as to why they did not franchise tag, and they choose not to do the franchise tag. Who like, to be honest with you, outside of Josh Jacobs that could possibly be franchise tag, who else would they franchise tag on this roster? There isn't anybody. You know what I'm saying? Max Crosby's already under contract. DA's already under contract. Who else do you need a franchise tag? So I understand why they're not, deciding to use the franchise tag, and that could still be a possible. He's still using it as a possibility, but in regards to the Josh Jacobs situation, I see him coming back. I think there's already a contract, in which, the numbers are already written up. That, it's just, waiting on the time for Josh Jacobs to sign it. And I think it's going to be a contract that's going to work with the team. That's not going to hurt the team. That's not going to kill the team. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's also going to be in perspective. I think that is not going to, the dollar amount that we're going to put on Josh Jacobs is not going to be identifying that Josh Jacobs is going to be getting all the running back touches. I think Zeus deserves a percentage of those. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, I think that's not even it, because I think we need to bring in at least another running back, if not two. It depends if, and how I feel about Abdullah, but, that could be a situation where they move on with him, move on from him. And obviously Bolden is still hanging around. So there's two running backs there that definitely we could move on from. So, the multiple running back is definitely the way to go. It's not, and I think every team has done that, to an extent. I think, outside of the, like the Derrick Henry or whatever, but outside of that, it's a multiple running back situation. Outside of him and McCaffrey, I would say, like, and I think it's just a sign of the times. I think he, even in regards to what Telesco was saying, Telesco was talking about how, the market, you starting to see guys that were, that were franchise tag not getting the franchise tag.
Yeah.
Saquon not getting the same franchise tag. Tony Pollard not getting the franchise tag. So obviously, the market is as much as he may not want to say it, but he knows deep down inside that the running back market is,
all them dudes had the franchise tag last year and didn't produce shit.
And that's the other part too.
Yeah. All those guys had the franchise tag last year and they failed to produce any numbers like the years before. So only one that had anything, I think, close might have been Josh. Saquon's season wasn't that great. I don't know if he hit 1,000 or not. I'm not 100% sure, but I know his season wasn't that great. So
yeah. And it's interesting, Dirty, to even in talking about that, because remember, even prior to all of those guys getting the franchise tag, they were all doing the whole running back boycott, right? So it should have been even more of a year for them to ball out to prove that the running back, the running backs are needed and the running backs are important, or however you play that out. But
they set the running back market back. You know what I mean? They were supposed to elevate the market. They set it back actually. So, it's like, this is why the teams didn't want to pay y'all. This is exactly why they didn't want to pay y'all. Now Josh Jacobs, I would like to say towards the second half, the kid tried everything. I think if he would have played two of the last 4 games, he would have reached 1,000. But unfortunately, he was cut short at 837 or something like that. 836, 837, something like that. But
yeah. Joel Lee said prayers for Arnett. I hope brother can turn it around. Hey, I mean, we that's all we can do in regards to Arnett. There's certain things in life where one person said this, and I know we've all heard it, but I can help you, but you got to help yourself. You know what I'm saying? You've heard something in that lane. I know everybody have heard that. I can help you, but you got to help yourself. And Arnett's in a situation where he has to help himself. He's going to have to sit back and really reflect on the opportunities that he let pass him by. To be in the NFL, have opportunities to make millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? And money that in which, if handled properly and managed properly, can be generational. You know what I'm saying? Where your children's children can benefit off of off of what you're doing. And he's going to have to sit back and reflect on that.
Man, look, so that reminds me of a story, a joke, and food for thought, all wrapped into one. So basically, there was this man, went to church, prayed to win the lotto. You know what I mean? Numbers come around, man don't win. Goes back to church again on Sunday, prays to win the lotto. Numbers come out, man don't win. Goes again, prays. Same result. Finally, he goes to church. God answers him, says, hey, I can help you win the lotto, but you got to buy the ticket.
Yeah.
Story is, look, you could be helped, but if you don't make the first effort, no matter what anybody else does, it'll never be worth anything. You got to make the first effort. You got to make the first step. If you can choose to continue to go out here and fuck up, you can choose to not to go out here and fuck up. It's just that simple. It's just that simple.
Willie Wayne, we're all over the place right now, but the initial, thumbnail was talking about Cam Newton, the incident of Cam Newton, the incident of Cam Newton. There was a 7-on-7 tournament in which a team, obviously he is owning and is a part of, had an incident with another group, and that the viral video came out in which Cam Newton was amongst a group of people, and you could tell that Cam Newton was, swinging them around, you know what I'm saying? And he wasn't, it wasn't that he got completely tore up, you know what I'm saying? In that situation, he was moving bodies in that situation.
Yeah, but he shouldn't even been in that situation,
Yeah, and that's on both sides. It never should have got to that.
You Cam Newton, why you talking so much shit? Like, you can, bro. But I get it. I saw both sides. So for me, I'm just like, it could have been avoided. But as a parent that has been in the 7-on-7 environment, that's it. That ain't new. You know what I mean? It just so happened to be public because it's a former NFL player. But this is the type of shit that happens every 7-on-7 tournament I go to. It's at least one scrap. If it ain't on the field, it's off the field. So, like I said, it's kids with egos, it's coaches with egos. They allow you to throw the ball at the opponent after you score and shit. You dance all in front of him, and you can grab his hips and grind on him, nigga. Like, yeah, I fucked you, and all that type of shit, and ain't no flags. People cheer for it. You know what I mean? Like, there's no code of conduct. You know what I mean? There's no real code of conduct. So, you're just basically allowing these kids to play arena league without the walls on the side.
Mm.
Just saying, XFL. You know what I mean?
Yeah, XFL for real.
Yeah.
John Leon said in regards to the running back, Josh Jacobs situation, what kind of contract you think?
Me?
Yeah. I say at least 2 to 3 years, you know what I'm saying, that having out, you know what I'm saying, having out on that second or third year. But I have him, you know what I'm saying, getting maybe I want to say 7 or 8 a year.
I'm gonna go 4 years, $46 million.
Okay. So
4 years, 46 mil. Huh?
You have him making a little over 10 a year?
With incentives, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I definitely would take
out of that, I'd probably give him like 38 guaranteed. Yeah, 4 years, $46 million, $38 million guarantee. Averages out to be about what, 9 a year plus incentives. You could top out at $11-12 million a year, and you get to stay where you want to be for the remainder of your career. He only got 4 years left. Remember, he said he was out at 30.
Yeah. Shout out to Mika
No
Beasley.
longer than 32. You know what I mean? So he only got 4 years left. Got 4 years to make Super Bowl run. AP got 3 years, 4 years with the team. You might as well take that $4 million, that 4-year contract. Finish out your career where you want to be. In 4 years, you should be the number one rusher in Raider franchise history
Yeah.
with a Super Bowl.
Milka Beasley said 3 years, 34 mil, 24 guaranteed.
I'm telling you what I'm telling you what he won't. I'm just telling you what he won't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'd give it to him. I'm not even gonna lie, I'd give it to him. Just being honest.
Because and I'll say this, you know, too, in regards to Josh Jacobs, I feel like, and Zeus, I'll say this, like, as much as some of us may be, you know, a little higher on Zeus now, after we kind of seen him, you know, at the end of the year, like, we don't know if that's a for sure thing. So you know when Josh Jacobs is on the field, you know what he's going to get, what you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? If he's healthy and he's dressed, you know what you're going to get out of Josh Jacobs. But we can't do that with Zeus. As much as we like, again, some of us might have liked what we saw, that's not a for sure thing. Milky B said I'd give him 11 years, give him 11 a year max. We need him back. Okay. If you guys have not, I know some of you guys be bouncing around and stuff like that. If you guys have not, definitely go check out my video that I dropped actually late last night about Josh Jacobs and the situation of him not being franchise tag. But definitely check out those facts, and if you guys can, go ahead and click the like button on that. Jolie said the running back market is terrible. Yeah, because me and Dirty was just talking about that. You know, and remember, trying to play back into the, you know, the history chart, right? Around this time last year, all the running backs were kind of doing the whole boycott. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hold out. I'm gonna do everything to get, you know, we need to up this running back market. The running back market is important. Well, the NFL said, you know, I'll just say it like this. The NFL's like, hey, we're gonna call your bluff. Prove it. And when you start looking at some of these numbers, it didn't crack up to what it should have been.
Not even close.
Milky B said the downfall of the downfall of Ruggs and Arnett is crazy. Yeah.
Ruggs just made a mistake. He made a stupid ass mistake. You know what I mean? Arnett's just a fuck up, bro. Big difference between the two. Because he keeps making mistakes. You know what I mean? Ruggs made a mistake, went and sat his ass down like the judge told him to. So sit your ass down. He did that. Arnett, he's still steady out in the street causing havoc, creating trouble, problems. So, in the end, he's a fuck up.
Yeah, and maybe because we're looking at it hindsight, and we can see, you know what I'm saying, see the whole situation, but you know, it's like, dang, like how many times are you not going to count your blessings, dog? Like, don't you realize that you shouldn't have got drafted where you got drafted, and the money that you got because you got drafted there? Like, don't you think you want to act right, or, you know, at least have some type of, I'm gonna prove this organization that believed in me so hard like this, right? Whether you hate Gruden or not, because, you know, some people say it was a Gruden pick, some people say it was a Mayock pick, but obviously they went with they had a gut feeling about Arnett. They believed in Arnett that much that they had a gut feeling to pick him in the first round. And you couldn't, yeah. So, again, prayers for Arnett. You know, hopefully he can pull it together. You know, I think honestly, I think the NFL, the NFL has passed him by. And he's going to have to figure out what his next move is outside of all the legal proceedings. Let me see. I think I passed somebody up. John Leon says 6 or 7 years with incentive on how much he carry. As if they're he's not going to carry as much. Yeah, and that's another reason why I feel like his market for us is going to be a little lower, because he's not going to be that main running back. I think, again, Zeus is going to get a percentage of those snaps. So we're not going to need 20 from Josh Jacobs. You know, or we're not going to need, you know, I'll say Josh Jacobs might get 20, but Zeus is going to get 7 of those. Or, you know, so yeah, his usage is going to be different. And I think that also helps out Josh Jacobs in the fact that we know that Josh Jacobs, I think every year pretty much got hurt and missed a couple of games. So if we could keep him, you know, load manage him in a sense, that's going to help too. So we definitely are not going to have to, you know, we'll see what this organization does. I think the contract, I believe the contract's going to be beneficial for both sides, where we can get, you know, it's not going to hurt us, you know, by signing him. And, you know, if they go the incentive route, that's the best way to go, because it's based on performance. And it's not like we're hurting for money. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird saying it like that, but it's not like it's not like we're doing this in a sense of, oh, you know, we gotta cut costs. We ain't got money to pay Josh Jacobs. We got the money to pay Josh Jacobs, but
damn sure got the money.
we just ain't in the mode of, you know what I'm saying, we being a little smarter with our money now, you know what I'm saying, and we move in a different way, and I like that.
This is a situation. This is a situation that has the possibilities of turning into that Marcus Allen, Bo Jackson combo. You know what I mean? That 1-2 punch was what I mean. Don't give me, oh, these two players ain't even on the same. Josh Jacobs is. Josh Jacobs is actually above Bo Jackson for the Raiders, but Zamir could get there. You know what I mean? He's young, he's fresh. You know what I mean? He has a nice upside. It took a little while for us to see it, but we finally saw it. So he does have an upside. Like, you could look at the split of the carries. Say we run the ball 40 times a game. Zamir is going to get 15 of those. You know what I mean? If that's how we want to do the math on the split, he's going to get at least 15 of those. You know what I mean? Josh might have 25 and Zamir might have 15. You know, that's 40 carries a game. You know? So, and then, shit, we may run the ball 50 times a game and we may give it to somebody else. You know what I mean? We may give it to Trey Tucker on an end round. You know what I mean? We may give it to Jacoby or something. You know, there's many ways of attacking the ball on, you know, attacking the ground with the ball. We have a plethora of weapons, especially in that running game, and the ways that we can utilize how it is. If we bring in a mobile quarterback, you gotta assume there's going to be at least 2 or 3 calls for him a game to rush. So, you know, it has its chances of working, and I feel like $9 million is a fair amount of money for him. You're locked in, you know. You got what you want. He ain't never gonna get the $100 million contract. I don't think no running back ever got no $100 million except for McCaffrey. And watch his career get cut short because everything is on him. There ain't nobody behind him. Everything is on him.
Yeah.
Remember, he's been hurt before. McCaffrey has been hurt before. So, where he missed damn near a whole season, right?
It's one of those situations, even though over there with the Niners, it's like the worst but perfect situation for him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's going to get used. Yes, he's going to get numbers. But we've seen over the years how many running backs the Niners have gone through. And it's because they almost run them dead over there. You know, and we'll see how long he lasts. You know what I'm saying? Especially with I don't even know who their backup running back is. Debo?
Yeah, I think so.
You know, so
I think so. The Raiders could get Russell Wilson for veteran minimum. I wouldn't take him for below veteran minimum. I wouldn't sign him if he wanted to play for free. I'll come over there for free, man. I just need the job. No. No. I'm good. I don't want you here.
Let me ask you why.
Huh?
Why?
His personality doesn't fit with us. He would be destructive to the locker room. You know, a lot of players say the same thing. He's not a good leader, bro. You know, he feels like he sits upon this throne and everybody else is beneath him, bro. Well, you've shown me nothing since you've won the Super Bowl that suggests that you're above anybody else. When you threw that pick, Instead of giving the ball to Marshawn, is everything I needed to see. And it's been gone downhill ever since. And look, Marshawn like everybody. So if Marshawn Lynch don't like you, I don't like you. Just saying. Even players in Denver say the same thing. You want to know why he really got benched? Because players didn't want to play with him. Let's just be honest. Players didn't want to play with him anymore. You don't hear nobody in Denver talking about, yeah, nah, we need to keep Russ here. You don't hear not one wide receiver, running back, O-lineman, nobody, bro. Not the front office. Nobody's standing on the table to keep Russell Wilson. Nobody. I wonder why. They was quick to rush his ass up out of Seattle. Denver gave up the whole world, plus some, to get him. And now they in a rush to get rid of him? I wonder why. These are just things I see. Let me give you my Stephen A. I'm just saying, I'm just stating the facts. These are the things that I see. In my 20 years of experience, this is what I see.
Yeah, I look at it as a possible option, but am I really excited for it? No.
It ain't an option for me, bro. Not at all. Not even a little bit. I won't even entertain the fact, bro. I'll just give you a straight, flat out fuck. Hell no. I'm good. No.
Since we're talking about quarterback, I'll ask you about this quarterback. What about the quarterback that we've been talking about today?
Who?
What say you if we brought Cam in for a tryout?
No, fuck no. Cam does not want to play football anymore, bro. Cam's done with football. Cam does not want to play football anymore. He's through with football. He is living up the podcast life, bro. He's enjoying being media. I'm telling you, Cam don't want to play ball no more. His heart ain't in him. He's been gone way too long. He gonna always love football, but I don't think he gonna ever love it like when he played and he was playing. I think that's gone from him. Honestly, I think that's gone from him. He's been out the game way too long. I like Cam. If you told me we was getting Cam off coming from Carolina, cool. I'll give him a shot. But Cam off retirement, ain't played in 3 years, Cam? I'm good. Might as well bring in Colin Kaepernick. Oh, wait a minute. He got a job down there with the Chargers. He got a job with the Chargers. He's a quarterback coach for the Chargers.
Really? Is that real?
No, he's got something to do with the quarterbacks over there with the Chargers.
Really?
Harbaugh gave him a job, yeah. Harbaugh gave him a job.
I don't know what he'll teach Herbert. I think Herbert's a better quarterback than him.
I think Herbert needs somebody to learn Harbaugh's system from. Now, who better to teach it than somebody who almost won a Super Bowl with it?
True.
Look, let's not get it twisted, bro. Colin Kaepernick was never a terrible quarterback. He was never terrible. You know what I mean? The way his career ended was kind of fucked up, and it put a sour note on this shit. But, you know, he was never terrible. He wasn't great, but he was never terrible. And then all the times we was talking about getting him was 3 years, 4 years after he ain't played a lick of ball. I'm good, bro. I'm good. If you would have gave me Colin Kaepernick after the San Francisco incident, okay, cool. I'd give him an opportunity. But you can't ask me to give players opportunities when they ain't thrown a ball in the NFL in 3+ years. I'm not giving you no fucking opportunity, bro. You ain't been in nobody's practice. You ain't done You ain't done nothing. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm about going forward, not backwards.
John Leon said, if Jaden Daniels is gone, would you trade up?
Nope,
for
not
Drake?
for Drake May, because Drake May won't be there. Drake May, if the Commanders get the number 1 overall pick, it's Drake May. I'm just letting you know that right now. It's Drake May. Shit, even if Chicago keep it, they might take Drake May over Caleb. There's a strong possibility that it might be Drake May 1 to Chicago, Caleb Williams 2 to the Commanders, and then if we could trade up for that number 3 spot, it may be Jaden Daniels. But Drake May is going to be the first quarterback off the. So even if the Commanders, and I don't know why the Commanders and the Bears will swap places just to pick who they would pick at that spot anyway. Well, no, I just don't see the Commanders getting that number 1 spot from number 2 to take Drake May if the Bears want Drake May. So that's why I feel like, yeah, I don't think the Bears are going to move. I think they want Drake May or Caleb. They'll take either one. But I think it's going to be Drake, then Caleb, then Jaden. But again, just my thoughts, my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know how high, and that's the question. That's the question is, and it's smart on the Raiders to do that, but we don't know. We know how they feel about Jaden Daniels, but we don't know how they feel about the other 2 quarterbacks. We don't know how this organization feels about May and feels about.
We'll know in a couple of days, won't we?
Yeah, coming soon.
We'll know in a couple of days.
But for me, I feel like, if we stay put at 13, I'm going offensive line. And getting a starter.
All depends on what we do in free agency. Depends on what you do in free agency. That's why I'm not so quick to say what I would do in the draft. I have no idea what they're going to do in free agency. Now, if I'm being honest, if you have the opportunity to get that franchise quarterback, you got to take it. That's just hands down. I mean, look at all the offensive linemen that are available in this year's free agency. You look at the tags that are next to them. None of these dudes are making more than $8 million a year. You know what I mean? Which is decent money. You know what I mean? It's a decent amount of money. We have scheduled to have at least $90 million. So for me, I mean, you get these guys that have some tread left on the tires. They at least got 4 years left in them, right? You grab you some offensive linemen that have at least 4 years left in a good 4 years. You know what I mean? Not okay. I'm talking about a solid, good 4 years of great production. You go get you some guys like that. You add them to your line. You don't need a whole lot of them. You just need to take care of that right side and the center. You really need 3 bona fide, solidified offensive linemen to take care of that right side. I believe Colton Miller can still do the job, as well as Dylan Parham. So if you really can focus on that right side of your offensive line, build that up to be about as strong as your left, if not stronger, You know what I mean? And then they all go in the camp fighting and making each other better, and you end up with a top 5 offensive line in the NFL for a little bit of nothing. Hey, look, you can draft whoever the fuck you want to draft at quarterback. Or you can not draft the quarterback and play Aiden O'Connell if you got solidified blocking up front. And I believe, like, if Aiden had some time, I think Aiden could be a really good quarterback. I don't think he's terrible. I think Aiden is a decent quarterback. He could be a starter or a hell of a backup. You know what I mean? I think that's where he lies. He could either be a good starter or one hell of a backup. I believe the kid can do it, but without any blocking, as I told you, it doesn't matter who you put behind the line. If ain't nobody blocking, ain't nobody gonna have no success. Not no real success. They can have decent games, but it ain't gonna trend. It ain't gonna trend from game to game, and that's a problem. You need it to trend from game to game.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of reserved, how I felt about, about Aiden. You know what I'm saying? I felt like he did the best he could with what he was given. And that's why I'm more hopeful on him this year. So I feel like he's going to come back better. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that, knowing what he needs to improve on, knowing what he needs to get better at, and then being able to get into a new offense that I think might actually fit him a little better. Getting back to, the West Coast offense. I think might actually help Aiden O'Connell. So I agree with you, Dirty, in the sense of it could be, and I've been saying this in regards to Aiden O'Connell. He could be our starter, but he could be a hell of a backup. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna have a heart attack if I see Aiden O'Connell come out, after our starter. If our starter gets banged up and Aiden O'Connell goes out there, I'm not gonna have a heart attack like I normally do.
Yeah.
So
I'm not gonna feel like it's Brian Hoyer or nothing.
God.
I'm not gonna feel like I would feel if it was Brian Hoyer. No.
That's why I feel like we can bring in Cam Newton, because look, if anything's better than Brian Hoyer.
No, I'm good. Let Cam do what Cam doing. Let him do what he doing, man. I'm good.
I put it out there a few times. I've said we need to bring Cam in for a tryout. I'm not saying he automatically gets a spot. I'm just saying he need to come in. Throw a couple of balls around the park and let's see what he got. You know what I'm saying?
The only thing I'm bringing Cam in for is to consult somebody on my team with no fashion sense, bro. That's the only thing I'm bringing Cam in for. Hey, Cam, I got a player over here. This nigga cannot dress for shit. Can you come help him out? Can you come help him out?
Hey, one thing he could help is Aiden O'Connell know when to get out the pocket. Because that's one thing I know. Even as old as Cam might be for some, I know Cam can still get out the pocket if he need to.
I would love to agree with you, but I don't think Cam know what a pocket is. He ain't never been in one.
That's true. and that's what makes him even more like I think I give more respect for him, like, because what he did over there in Carolina, like with who he had, like, dude, he was pulling magic out of his hat every for almost every game.
Shit,
Shout
man.
out to Cool Kev. Cool Kev is in the building.
Shouts out to everybody, man. My battery getting ready to die, so
Willie Wayne.
I'll let y'all in a minute.
Yeah, we probably gonna wrap it up, soon. We don't be on here all night long and stuff like that.
I feel you. I
We
appreciate you having me. Go ahead and go plug this thing up before it actually die.
Yeah, Natural Born Raider podcast. Do not miss it. Go ahead and subscribe. Get active. You know what I'm saying? Over there. Click the like button on one of his videos.
I'll be around.
All right, man.
All right.
Thanks for showing up, man.
Most definitely.
And Estrada, good to see you. Hope all is well. Let me read the chat here. Make sure you guys click the like button if you guys have not. And if you like the Raiders, go ahead and subscribe. Baker's got game. He does, but I think he's gonna get wrapped up by the Buccaneers. I think it'd be stupid for them not to get him there. Willie Wayne said, "Cam QB coach." Hey, look. Hey, if we can help Aiden O'Connell get some feet, But hey, I'll say this too in regards to Aiden O'Connell. Don't be surprised that you see a different Aiden O'Connell. I don't know why I feel that, but I believe it. I think there's gonna be something in Aiden O'Connell that some of y'all gonna be like, "What? I didn't even know he could do that," because we didn't see that last year. I think Aiden O'Connell's gonna take it to another level. Johnny Leon said, "I like Cam." Yeah, I like Cam. I do. That's why I feel like, that's why I feel like we could bring him in for a tryout. See what he got. I'm not saying he's gonna be, I'm not gonna say he's gonna be a starter, but he could be a backup to whoever we got. You know what I'm saying? Especially if, like I said, if we was okay with having Hoyer here, we could definitely have Cam Newton come in and help us out. So but yeah, Cam Newton, you know what I'm saying, his incident is an unfortunate one. I think, be honest with you, I feel like it was bad on both sides. And I just hope that the youth are not influenced by this. We all need to keep the main thing. And when I say the main thing, where's the focus? What's the main focus? We need to keep the main focus on certain things and keep it there and not allow things to take us away from those things. Y'all feel what I'm picking? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? but yeah. And I know there's probably going to be some more developments coming out. I know there's probably going to be a whole lot more reports on that. But I say this in regards to those of minority. We got to do better. We got to do better. Is sad to see us of minority be these victims of foolery. I'll say it like that. You know, and we have to, as a people, as a nation, we got to be better, and we got to do better. You know, sometimes, and I'll say this too, in closing, there's things that, for an example, and I'm just using this as an example. You don't know what it took for me to get on this screen. You don't know what it took for me to start this show. You don't know what it took for me, what happened, the things that happened before I pressed play, right? And sometimes those efforts to get to where you get to, where people see you, or to get to the place of festivities, sometimes there's a stress, sometimes there's a strain. There's sacrifices that are taken, right? And sometimes when you get to those places and you're not appreciated, or they're always talking stuff about you, or whatever the situation may be, there's a voice in your head that sometimes tells you why you even do it. You know, and I don't want my fear too in the situation is that someone may want to be a coach and really want to impact children's lives. And not everybody is able to do that. Not everybody is talented to do that. You know what I'm saying? I truly believe those that are coaching children and working with children, there's a gift and talent for that. Not everybody can do that. That's why I believe that's why I truly believe that everybody should not be a parent. You know, parenting is not for everybody. And because of that, I just don't want someone to lose what their main thing is because of what they see. So my encouragement to you, my good word to you on today is let your main thing be your main thing. Okay? Make sure you guys click the like button. Make sure you guys subscribe. Okay? We need to get it growing and moving and grooving over here. If you guys can, please share this video out. It would definitely help the channel. You guys need and also it means a lot to me if you guys are an organ donor. So if you guys are interested in doing that, it is always in the link in the description of my videos and lives, and is available to you. If you have any questions, definitely hit me up on IG at Twuan, TWUAN. Okay. If you have any questions in regards to organ donating or donation or whatever the situation is, if you want to know about kidney disease, also hit me up on IG, and I will get you the information or answer your question there. Remember, you're a blessing. Be a blessing to someone else. And let's go. Raiders.
What up, Lo?
Most of all, winning football games. Today is a day when our heroes of the past become our legends of the future. Time never really stops for the great ones. We wrap them in a cloak of immortality and remember what great people they were. We recognize you, Virginia Madden, his sons Mike and Joey. They were a football family, so their job in pursuing dreams. To Raider Twuan and a tribute to John Madden and Al Jacobs, who declared that the fire that burns the brightest in the Raiders organization is the will to win. Ladies and gentlemen, the Madden family.